Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and in today's video we're having a look at my top 10 Warzone 2 tips to stop you from being a noob. Now this is going to be in no particular order, and let's kick things off by having a look at where you should drop. Now this is a place that is becoming a little bit more popular now. The player base is getting used to it and they've got this information, but I would absolutely recommend you go to this location here. Go to the bank. There are plenty of tills or cashier points for you to go and search in, and all of them will have cash in. In this one location, you can walk away with roughly 15 grand if you're quite lucky, and even at the lower end, you're walking away with around 10, which means that you and other members of your squad can get their hands on your custom primary weapons as soon as possible. Not only that, the bank is actually very close to a buy station, so all you need to do is hop over and jump onto the roof of this building here, and you'll be able to get there in no time. Now, while the bank is the best place to get the most amount of money in the quickest time possible, I would absolutely recommend checking out all of the tills and the cashier points throughout the entire map. Because there aren't any cash drops when you search any loot boxes anymore, this is the best way to get as much cash as possible. So every time you go past a gas station, make sure you pop in there and have a look to see if there's any cash inside the tills. If it looks like a shop, chances are it has a till in it, so make sure you go and check them out and start racking up that cash. And tip number 2, stick with your teammate in the gulag. This is the best way to make sure you can get out and get back into the war zone. Wherever they go, you go. 2 guns is always better than 1, and more often than not, the enemy team wouldn't have teamed up and stuck with each other. So it can be a 2-on-1 fight, and you're way more likely to win this way. I have noticed some other players deciding to do exactly the same thing, but this is the percentage play. It gives you the best chance to get out of the gulag and drop back into Mazrah. Tip number 3 is about this transport heli. This particular helicopter can be your own movable fighting platform. The way that helicopters now work in Warzone 2.0 means that if you do jump out of this transport heli, you'll go into the back of it, but it still hovers in place, which means you and your teammates can shoot at players on tops of buildings or that get caught in the open without exposing yourself on the ground to their return fire. Now, helicopters are also a little bit clunky, so the best way to move it around is to keep alternating between pressing the left trigger and right trigger to help yourself move forward, or whichever the ascend and descend buttons are if you're playing on PC. But this is an incredibly powerful way for you to get the height advantage on your opponents and make their cover almost completely useless. Just be aware that you can still get hit while you're in the cockpit if someone is aiming at you with a sniper rifle, so don't sit still for too long. Number 4 is gaining a constant UAV, and that is by completing the stronghold challenges. Not only that, you can also pick up one of your custom guns entirely for free. As you'll see in this footage, I managed to complete one of the stronghold tasks through a wall, which is obviously a glitch, and I'm sure it's going to get patched in some later updates. But for now, if you are able to defuse the bomb through the wall, why not do it? After you complete the stronghold challenge, it will ping out constantly, alerting you in the nearby area of any enemy players or any other AI that are left at the stronghold. So if you know that the stronghold is available, then get yourself in there and use this UAV to your advantage. Knowing where the enemy is if they are trying to third party you is absolutely huge and will help you get those kills. Just be aware though that the AI, even though the pathing is a little bit stupid and they aren't the most accurate at range, they can still absolutely rinse you. And now we are on to tip number 5, and that is to be aggressive. If there is an enemy team holed up in a building and you can push them using your flash grenades, stun grenades, drill charges, I would throw all of it all in one go and jump in and try and finish the fight on your terms. Don't let them dictate how it's going to go forwards. Catching people by surprise and using as much force as possible in one go, in my opinion, is the best way to force yourself to win the fight. If they have time to pick the engagements and how they're going to play out, then chances are you and your team are going to be eliminated. Next up, we are on to number 6, bomb drones. They are an absolute menace. You can one-shot people with 3 plates on with the bomb drone. It's incredibly annoying and very difficult to fight against, as you can see in this clip here. Now, I haven't actually got any footage of myself using a bomb drone, unfortunately, but there is a lock-on square alerting you where the enemy player is as you're flying around with the drone, and when you're in range to one-shot them, this square fills in the middle, which means that when you detonate it, they're going down straight away. They're incredibly difficult to fight against because they are relatively agile, and even here in this clip, you'll see me use my DDoS. It still doesn't destroy the bomb drone even after it's been launched. Hopefully they're going to get a bit of a nerf, but for now, if one of your teammates can hold on to a bomb drone so you can use it to get that advantage and be aggressive if you are pushing people in a building, I would absolutely recommend it. Tip number 7, and that is to get the high ground. Always go for the high ground whenever you can if you have the opportunity. Being above people in a first-person shooter makes it so much harder for them to get cover, even if it's by 5 or 10 feet. If they try and return fire, you have the advantage because you can see more of their body. This is particularly useful if you are trying to snipe, and it's another reason why that transport helicopter is so useful. So whenever you can, grab the high ground. Anakin. Next up, we are on to tip number 8, and something that I've seen lots of players not utilizing is that you sprint much faster and you move much faster when you are holding a sidearm or SMG. Now, this is a very basic tip, but just to reinforce how much of a difference it makes, if you're running around with an LMG, assault rifle, or sniper rifle, you will be going slower. So if you are under fire and you're trying to zigzag your way out of it, pressing the weapon change button so you're using your sidearm or SMG or even your fists or a combat knife, it's going to help you be more agile and get you out of that situation much quicker. And with that in mind, we are on to tip number 9, and that is in Warzone 2, something which is brand new to this battle royale. You can carry 3 primary weapons, and the way that you do that is by either having a medium or large backpack, and you can carry 3 weapons. So you'll have your primary weapon, let's say it's an AR, your secondary, an SMG, and you can also, in your backpack, carry a sniper rifle. Now, the way to swap between your primary and your stowed weapon in your backpack is to press the down button on your D-pad and press X or square to swap immediately to that other weapon. It means that you can not only deal with people at mid-range with an AR, for example, close range with an SMG, you can also carry that sniper rifle that you've been desperately wanting to hold on to for the whole game in your backpack and use it when the situation arises. This is going to be a bit of a game changer for those of you guys that are diligent about what weapons you're carrying, and also it will change what weapons you might want to pick up when you do grab your custom loadouts or you grab one of your primary weapons from a buy station. And finally, tip number 10, snipers do not down in one headshot. Unfortunately, in Warzone 2.0, managing to do one of the hardest things possible within the game, especially if you're using a controller, will not get you an instant down. Unfortunately, from full health, you will have to hit someone twice with your sniper rifle to get them down, and one of those shots absolutely needs to be a headshot. What you will do is break all 3 of the plates if they have all 3 and get their health down a little bit. This can be a little bit frustrating, and I imagine it's something that's going to be looked at in the future, but for now, just be aware that if you do hit that headshot with the sniper rifle from 500 meters away, unfortunately, they're going to have plenty of time to get to cover and plate up and get back in the fight. And here is a big bonus tip for you. Fall damage when you're in a down state is very, very much negated. It's almost at 50% from what I can tell. If you are downed on top of a building and your friends are all the way down at the bottom, you can fall from a high-rise building all the way down to the floor and you will not splat and you will not exit the game as long as you have as much health as possible when you take that fall. If someone is trying to thirst you and you've only got a slither of health left, then the chances are that you will be eliminated. But if you've just been downed and you can manage to squeak yourself off the building, I'd recommend doing it. There are also fall damage negators when you land into water. You will not die if you land into water, even if you jump from the plane to drop in and land straight in the river without pulling your parachute. You will take some damage, but landing in water, if you need to do it in a pinch, will definitely save you from being stuck in a situation that you might not have otherwise survived. So those are the 10 tips plus 1 bonus tip that you need to hear to not be a noob in Warzone 2.0. Let me know if you have any tips of your own, so you can put those down in the comments. And I'm going to remind you guys that I stream 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. Hopefully I'll see you on the live stream, so don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for me as well so you don't miss any more Warzone 2 content. I have a Discord to join as well, which is the best way to be notified about everything else that I put out on YouTube, and hopefully I'll see you on one of the live streams. That's Game Over. Peace.